Welcome aboard, all you wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers Podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Oquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Mary. Hey, Kyle.
Hello.
All right, wait, we should do some introductions because otherwise we just jumping into a hey, Kyle. So we have a very special guest with us today, and Mary, I got to talk very quickly so you know what's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 253 of the Traveling Groomers Podcast. Recorded on 3/20 and will air on April 3rd.
All right, so this is really good because sometimes
That was nice.
I know that's very professional, right?
Yeah. Is that like every episode you do that?
I attempt to do that every episode, and sometimes it even gets done in the beginning.
Oh, wow. That was nice seeing it live, too. I like how the voice comes down a little bit. You've got it on the AM dial for the long-lost truckers out there. Here comes.
Well, we were already talking about how late we record, and welcome to the Midnight Hour Grooming Show. For all you groomers getting in that Christmas overtime in April. Yeah.
April. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah, so like I said, sometimes it's the very last thing she'll say. Other times, yeah, really. Oh, by the way, this is
you have been listening to, yeah.
You have been listening
to. Plug it in at the very end.
Yeah, but it gets in there somewhere.
Fantastic.
So, our guest today is Kyle Darling. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, Darling, just the way you say it. Yeah.
Okay. And so, Kyle, you're half of TheraClean's?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And so for those who have no idea what TheraClean is, give us a synopsis in a nutshell.
TheraClean Microbubbles is a technology. We're going to be 11 years old this September coming up, but we're still pretty new to a lot of people in the industry. It's a technology that's changing everything in skincare for animals. We're going into people next, psoriasis, eczema, burn centers, dermatology clinics, hair salons, spas, manis, petties, you name it, we'll be in it. We're going through our FDA for humans as we speak right now, which is quite the process. But with professional groomers and veterinarian hospitals, it's basically a technology that can clean the skin to a level that we've never seen before, but without the use of soap, shampoos, or any chemicals at all. It's just tap water and billions of tiny little bubbles that are about 1/3 the size of a red blood cell. So it gives you an idea how small they are and how many are, and they can get into the follicle. And basically, the science behind it is they carry a negative ionic charge, and they naturally attract positively charged organic materials like bacteria, dirt, debris, yeast, allergens, skunk oil. It'll pull skunk oil out. We've never had anybody go past 2 baths. It's usually 1. And we always like to say to people who've never seen it before, where's a dog usually get sprayed? They usually get it right here. Yeah. And it's just safe because it's just water. That's it. And it pulls it all out of the skin, cleans the entire follicle, and away you go.
Okay. All right. So, Chris, I know you had some questions to get started.
I had some questions to get started. Now, normally sorry, I've had a bit of a day. So I would like to be more professional than say, well, normally we BS a little bit first and like chat before we get right into the hard-hitting questions. But apparently we are not doing that today. which is
Well, we could
just
do some
fine.
BS questions if you like.
Well,
Can we ask
no,
if you want? Sure.
that's fine.
I'm up for it.
We'll do some BS questions first.
What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, Kyle is from Vancouver, Washington,
Correct. Yeah.
Canada. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is, like I've said, I mean, I can literally, from where I live, right, Squim Bay is like right there in front of my house. I could probably, if I had a really good arm, I could probably like throw a rock, hit your house.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Washington and this part of Washington and Canada, like really, really close together. Our good friend of ours, Carly, lives in
Vancouver Island.
She lives on Vancouver Island, but the other end, correct?
I don't.
So Vancouver, basically it goes Vancouver, then Vancouver Island west,
Mhm.
going this way, and then basically next stop, Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Carly, if you're listening, I still have your whiskey.
I think she's drinking it, Carly.
I'm not. Okay. Kyle, so you know, now I have to prove to Carly. All the Canadians can mock me.
I was going to
This
say
is
the
Crown Royale Peach. Laugh.
Peach.
Peach.
Okay. I've got that written down, Chris, because every trade show I go to, I pass through the duty free, and
Oh.
you've now made the list. Everybody wants, I think it was 2017 Crown Royal Harvest got whiskey of the year in terms of
okay.
against the world. And you couldn't find it anywhere, even up here. You had to know somebody's sister's, cousin's, dog's, roommate's friend to get a bottle. And now you can find it anywhere. So I grabbed a couple for some other exhibitors and just like, here you go.
I don't know if it would be wasted on me because I'm embarrassing admission. I love the smell of whiskey so much. Yeah. Oh, so really? I could I want to make it a perfume.
Yeah.
But drinking it, I'm a girly girl and like the flavored stuff. So.
No judging here. No judging here. Everybody, likes what you like. If I can find the peach, I'll bring you a bottle.
Or yeah. So the Carly's whiskey.
Place an order.
Ooh.
Oh, do I place an order? I hardly drink.
Okay. All good.
So why I have a bottle of whiskey for Carly is several years ago, and she used to go to a lot of the same trade shows I did. And we used to room together and hang out at the shows and great friends.
Yeah.
What's his nuts? Oh, the guy from Outlander, Mary, the actor, was coming out with a whiskey.
Outlander.
Google?
Yeah, I'm going to make you Google. I'm completely drawing a blank. So he came out with a whiskey called like Sassenach or something.
Yeah.
And she was really excited because she was a huge, huge fan of the books and the show. And her grandfather actually had the same last name as the character. So she's like, I got to get this whiskey. It's not going to be available in Canada. There were like only a few places because, when something first comes out, it's very limited. So There were only a few places you could get it, and she could get it shipped to Jersey. So she's like, it's fine.
Sam, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name correct. Sam Hugan, AKA Jamie Fraser.
Yes. So
it's called the Outlander.
The Outlander is
the whiskey is called Sassenach.
Yeah.
You were close.
So, yeah. Well, the Outlander is the series and the books.
Okay.
Sassenach means outsider, which was his pet name for the girl, which is a very weird pet name. But anyway, so she's like, oh, well, I'll order it. We'll order it. We'll have it shipped to you. You'll bring it to the next trade show I see you at. Guess what year that was? So that conversation and shipping happened in January of 2020.
Oh dear.
And
So
I
last
haven't seen her
year.
since.
At least the whiskey is now aging, correct?
Yes, it's aging. It's not unboxed. It's even in its packing. Like I didn't even take it. She's like, "Can I see the bottle?" And I went, "I didn't even take it out of the packing box. I mean, I can." She's like, "Oh my God, no, leave it." So it's now, it survived a flood in my house because it was on the second floor. This is now like a legendary aging bottle of whiskey.
So what event has to happen to open this?
I don't, well, I gotta
Special
see
special
her.
occasion?
Well, she's got to make it to a trade show.
Right. Okay.
Or she's got to somehow get to Tacoma or something. We'll chat, Mary, because maybe I can pass it to you and you can smuggle it across the border.
Okay, which
You've already smuggled alcohol into Canada. So, you're an old hand at this.
I've already done these things. Okay. I'm at my limit.
Mhm.
Oh, that's good.
all right, I can do that.
Excellent. And
I would like to get back to Vancouver Island. It's such a pretty island.
It's gorgeous. Yeah. It's fantastic. Victoria is, yeah, it's just breathtaking. Then if you could make the trek north up towards it's a big surfing community, and now it's escaping me. So many BC people are like, oh, Tofino. I've been there twice, and you think I don't know if you've ever been to Japan before, but you think you're on the northern part of Japan. It's crazy.
oh, wow.
And then you can go hours north of that, and that's where, the aliens live, in terms of, you see the northern lights, and it's magical.
Seeing the Northern Lights is definitely a bucket list item. But see, now we have chatted, we have discussed whiskey.
Yeah.
We can take our first commercial break, having been a little calmer. And, it's not all, let's right to business, because that's not how we roll.
I like that.
But right to business, how Hanvi rolls.
I know when I'm on the road grooming, I want to keep things rolling along. With a 9-foot clearance, Hanvi mobile grooming vans actually fit through most drive-throughs to make lunch and banking on the go a breeze. With their clean running diesel engine getting up to 5 hours runtime per gallon, you're spending less time and money at the pump. Visit hanvi.com today to configure the mobile grooming van of your dreams.
And we're back, and I did not even use that time to stick an impossible nugget in my mouth. So I didn't get to, sadly.
It's a fun podcast.
Well, we do like to, and we do tackle serious subjects a lot, but even when I am talking about very serious things, I'm not a super serious person, because it's hard sometimes to learn and focus if everything is like, let's talk businessy. And it's meh. We should be having fun with life because it's too short.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Mary tells me this is like episode 200 something, 250 or
This is number 200.
This
is number 253. Once again, listeners, 253. So before we get to the serious topic, Mary, I'm informing you live on air. We're not going to make a big deal about episode 300, but we're going to make a big deal about episode 365, because that is a year of the Traveling Groomers, even though it will have been several years.
I was going to say, how many years have we been doing this?
Oh my God.
And you go every Wednesday?
Yes.
We record, yeah. I mean, sometimes we take a vacation day, sometimes we take a mental health day. But we generally we're a weekly podcast, and I don't know, maybe I could see when the Facebook page was.
Oh, holy.
It's a lot.
Actually, I want to say, didn't we either 2019 or 2020?
I'm pretty sure it was
20.
Oh,
I'm doing an unboxing.
well, hold on.
Okay, this has been,
I keep going to Facebook.
I know
Uh,
it was before COVID, but I think it was like we may have started early 2020.
No.
No, 2019.
But it was definitely before COVID hit.
It was a while ago. Anywho's.
Very cool. Wow.
So some of the serious questions
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, because TheraClean with the microbubbles is one of those things I've seen around for a while, but I don't know a whole lot about, and I like learning new things. So is it more of a therapy or more of a every dog bath situation, or somewhere in between?
I think the safe answer is both. I mean,
Okay.
we have the word therapy in our name, kind of. But every dog, cat, we've had clients do a pig, we've done a horse, somebody did their pet turtle. If something's got skin on this earth, it'll clean it, but clean it to a level, like I said before, we've never seen before. And so it is for every pet that comes through your grooming business. Cats, I mean, I know that the big stigma has always been cats and water don't mix. We have cats go to sleep in the bath. Now, every cat's going to be different,
Oh,
but
yeah.
even with really hyperactive dogs, they just, it's very common. You'll see the eyes, when you've been driving for like ever and your eyes are getting heavy and you think rolling the window down and turning the music up is going to help, and it doesn't.
And you're just like,
And you're just like, okay, I gotta pull over, and it's just 2 more miles, and I'm at wherever, and it's like, yeah,
yeah.
back to my high school days before I almost ran myself off the road. But yeah, it's so relaxing. It's for every pet, Chris. To answer your question, it's not just for
Okay.
dog skin problems. Now,
Okay.
we do
got
specialize
the
in
date.
skin problems. Sorry, Mary.
Oh, now she found the dates.
Oh,
And I can
January,
take a bite of food because I'll be rude to Mary and not you.
January 26th, 2019. That was when the
wow.
group started. I could probably go over to Spreaker and see when we first uploaded the first video, the first one. That might have been an easier one to get.
So anybody can find the very first one on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
I'm
on
sure
YouTube.
that.
Not on YouTube.
Oh,
I think on Spreaker. Didn't we start recording like right around New Year's Day? Was it New Year's Day?
I think it was. Hold on.
so who approached who and whose idea was it?
Wow. Okay, this is the story.
This is my
But
fault.
It's her fault. Totally her fault. Okay.
Notice
so,
we phrase it like fault.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
all right, so this is how it happened. I have another podcast called Women Petpreneurs, which is older than this one.
Okay.
Chris, I think, may have been, if not my first interview, pretty close to maybe first 3 or 4 at least.
Mhm.
On that one.
On that one.
Okay.
And she calls me up and she goes, "Hey, that was fun. We should, what do you think about maybe doing one for like mobile groomers and stuff like that?" And I'm like, "That's a really good idea," and gave her a checklist.
Kyle, she gave me work.
Yeah,
I said this could be fun, and she gave me work.
yeah. It's like
Rude.
it went. I just want to have fun and chat, and we'll make fun of each other, and we'll have a great time. All right, do the following things,
Uh-huh. Mhm.
and you got to sing for your supper.
And the beautiful thing is there weren't as many podcasts out then.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't listen to podcasts. I listened to the Groom Pod.
Yeah.
And I kind of went, is there room? This is adorable now. When you look back on it, it's kind of funny. Like, do you think there's room for another grooming podcast? Meanwhile, now we have like tons and they're all fantastic.
You're so far down the rabbit hole now. You can't stop now. And yeah, I agree. 365 will be, if you find that bottle of whiskey.
I gotta wait for Carly. But that is definitely like open a bottle of something.
Absolutely.
The
100%.
first episode dropped January 26th, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. One of my favorite quotes is an old I don't know, football / what we call soccer over in Europe, Jurgen Klopp, life is too short not to celebrate the nice moments. So when you get to 365, get that whiskey and have a nice celebration.
Yep. I mean, we got some time, but we can plan. We can plan. All right. So that was my first hard-hitting question. It wasn't really that hard-hitting a question, but we're close enough and at a natural break. I'm going to rush the second commercial just because it's at a good break. One thing I don't rush is my scissoring, but we just have really good shears that just make it seem to go faster.
Okay, you know I love my Evolution swivel shears, and you even know that these customizable shears come in non-swivel as well. But did you know that they're the only ones I've been trusting my sharpening with for around 15 years, and that's how we met? What? You haven't tried their sharpening yet? If so, send in your next batch of sharpening and you'll get one shear sharpened for free with a $75 order just for telling them where you heard about them. Your shears and blades will thank you.
And to say what a rush we got Traveling Groomers up. And I got to really commend you now that I know you really well, Chris. So Chris was episode number 2 for Women Petpreneurs, and that dropped January 13th of 2019. In 2 weeks, we had the first episode up of the Traveling Groomers podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, in 2 weeks, you had it up and live.
Yep.
That's impressive.
From, hey, what do you think about this, to up and live was 2 weeks.
Yeah. And what did you guys do? Just wung it?
Yeah, we winged it.
Pretty-
Yeah, you want to listen to some really
My life motto.
Yeah, just wing it. If you want to listen to some like poor quality podcasts, go back and listen to some of the early Women Petpreneurs and Traveling Groomers podcasts.
I will. I think I spent a quarter of my life on planes. I got to have something to do.
Oh, you're going to have to crank your headphones up real high. And the next thing is going to blow out your eardrums, because I had no idea what we were doing. We used the mic on our laptops. Like, I was sitting on my sofa, my husband's coming in and out, the door creaking. It's like, oh my God. There was zero sound editing.
Hey, I mean, you got to start somewhere. You should, when Jeff and I started TheraClean, it wasn't a disaster, but I'd be lying if saying we didn't make it up as we went along. We're kind of still doing that.
Well, all right.
I got a question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How was this business born?
That's what I was going to ask.
Excuse me. You want the Cliff Notes version, or you want the whole thing?
Pretend you've been sipping the whiskey.
Yeah. A friend. So it was founded by a veterinarian that has known me since I was about 12. And he worked with my father, who's been in the pet industry forever. He used to work for a company called Hagen Pet Products. They're based out of Montreal. And so he got a call, and he calls me up one day, and I was bartending here in Vancouver for 20 years and didn't want to do it anymore. And, basically was looking for something else to do. And he calls me up and he just goes, I just got back from Japan, and a technology that I can't remember how he put it, but it was like, it's going to change everything with skin, whether you have 4 legs or 2 legs. And I'm like, okay. So long story long, he's at the World Veterinarian Dermatology Conference is here in town.
Mm-hmm.
And so he flies out and he's repping this Japanese company. Now, this was just after their big tsunami in, I think, 2012. I think.
Sounds right.
So my dad calls me. He goes, hey, can you pick Jim up at the airport and take him to dinner, blah, blah, blah. This, that, the other thing. So ironically enough, he's texting me right now. We talk wine and food. He's a big food guy. But he goes, he's on like beer number 3 or 4. And I could tell the question was coming. Now, keep in mind, I'm bartending at nights. and it's Thursday, and my busy days are Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. And this is when this trade show part of the conference is. So he finally gets up the courage to say, if I get you a badge, do you want to, just come and, I'll teach you all about this technology? Because everybody else in the booth didn't speak English except for one guy, and it was very broken. And we still talk to him to this day. He's fantastic. His name's Satoshi. He lives in California. And so I felt bad for him. In the daytime, I stood in the booth and he taught me all about it. I sold a system to a veterinarian in Switzerland. And
Wow.
at the end of it, this gentleman who owned the company takes me over to the cafeteria with the translator, bows to me, gives me his business card, and asked me if I would like the rights to his technology. Wasn't his, but at the time he says it was, for North America. And, completely off guard. Jim's way back in the booth, just standing there. And so I said, oh, I'll have to think about it. Didn't really want the job. So anyways, long story long, I took him up on his offer, and we had to create our own microbubble system over here using North American parts and get it passed with safety inspection. So TheraClean is UL safety certified, and sent it over to Japan. It was making better bubbles than theirs. They wanted to know how we were able to do it and proper size bubbles and things like that. What we've noticed now is that, and what we want to teach groomers, is that a microbubble is a microbubble is a microbubble is not true. Or that famous price tag that TheraClean that everybody goes,
Yeah.
it would be the same if you could buy a $500 microbubble system compared to an $8,000 TheraClean system. Why does one get results and the other one doesn't?
Well, that's like saying all oatmeal shampoo is the same
Right.
when
Yeah.
it's not, because then you have to get into the molecular size and can it penetrate and all of that.
So
yeah, I get that.
got the system back, and we signed a 3-year contract with them. We were just basically, the rights for a licensing agreement. And then in around 2016 or so, they got really greedy and wanted to own all our clients, amongst some other things. And I said, no problem. I had to go over to Japan, and I just said politely, you can own all our clients, but you're going to pay for half of every cup of coffee, every flight, every hotel, every trade show, we were creating a market that didn't exist.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to do that. So we divorced. And our plan, Jeff and I's plan, was always to make our own system anyways and go from there. And so we never looked back, and now we've got this newer system that's out now, and here we are. And that's how it came to be. And Dr. Zeroni stays on as our veterinarian consultant, and I pay for his license, and here we are. We've got 350 clients in 6 different countries. We're about to enter New Zealand if it ever gets out of customs. It seems it's been stuck there for a week, but the groomer over there said COVID is apparently rampant right now over there, so
Ooh.
she's not surprised. Yeah, I know, I didn't know that. But that's how it was born, and that's how it leads us to episode 253.
Okay. I love that. So this came from the veterinary world. So this was really being used on like dermatological issues, not just let's wash dirty Fido. Was it more?
It goes back even further than that, Chris. Jeff has a better understanding for research than I do. I want to say he found an article where Russian submarines were using microbubble for sonar, some sort of sonar thing. Now, there's so many applications. Like when we get into the human side and all those divisions that I talked to you about, where dermatology clinics, burn centers, wound care centers, seniors homes, manicures, pedicures, spas, hair salons, we've already proven, we've done all those things, by the way. but we have to keep them a secret because we don't have our FDA and we can't make these kind of claims until they come out. I mean, I have them all on our phone. If you ever see us at a trade show again, we'll be at Intergroom in a few weeks. Come by the booth. I'll show you some things on my phone that will be like, oh my. And that's with people. Psoriasis and eczema, it's a layup for us now.
So are you working on getting your FDA approval for people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going with there's a lovely dermatologist out of Chicago, out of North Eastern University, and she's agreed to do our clinical trials for us. And how we came across her is a client of ours in Chicago had 2 of our systems. And these parents had a boy that had a disease called ichthyosis. And it's where the skin at birth grows at such a rapid rate. You have to keep on top of it because it can actually close the baby's eyelids shut and the ears shut.
Oof.
That's how fast the skin is growing. So they were bathing, his name's Kale. They were bathing him like 8 times a day, just scrubbing the excess skin. And there's skin everywhere. Jeff and I had to learn about it. So all of a sudden, my email pops off, and this was about a year and a half ago. And it just says, and it's from this dermatologist, and it just says, you have my attention. And so we didn't know it at the time, but this family was taking Kale to a dog groomer client of ours to get Microbubble done. And so they were bathing the boy and they took pictures and stuff. And it was like, it's just tap water. So it's very unlikely you have a reverse reaction to it. Whether you're a dog, cat, person, it's just water. You can't actually. So then they were getting him better in terms of they only had to bathe him once a day. Now, not just the boy's life, imagine the parent's life.
Oh, yeah.
They can have a life, kind of, and keep on top of the skin. So again, another long story. Sorry, Mary. That when we went to All American this past year, we stopped in at her office, took the new system with us, put her and her staff's hands in the microbubbles. They got to feel them just like we do with groomers at the show. And she just goes, okay, what do you need from me? And we're like, we want, full on double blind studies. We're going to pay for it a lot. Yeah, we're really excited. There's a lot of red tape to jump through, obviously, but we just got our FDA in veterinary medicine a month ago, which we're really excited about. And just, climbing the steeper mountains so that our clients know you're getting the best of the best of the best when it comes to microbubble systems. And that's one thing that we're trying to explain to people who have never seen it or understood what it does. Does that all make sense? Clear as mud?
It's clear as mud. It almost sounds like, and please, if I'm not so far off base,
No.
I'm not even in the same stadium, but it almost sounds like super frothing, but with water, because when you're frothing, you're creating like a metric ton of bubbles, but you're just doing this with water and having like the super tiny ones that are having.
Yeah, yeah, you could say that. You'll see during a bath, and this is why we call it a TheraClean bath, and we don't want, nobody likes to get told what to do. So we don't tell our clients what to do, but we do explain to them that there's a microbubble bath and then there's a TheraClean bath. And at the end of the day, as a groomer, professional groomer who wants, this for their business to generate more revenue, you got to get results.
Mm-hmm.
And we've now busted 4 other microbubble systems using our clients' before and after pictures, pawning them off as their own. And that's the big,
don't you love when that happens?
Stop it. We've got better things to do than go over to China, Taiwan, Singapore, and just like, hey, you got stuff. Our watermark is right through one on Alibaba.
Oh, no.
You can see the watermark right there. And it's like, there's what it does. And it's like, but again, seeing a microbubble is, it just isn't true. We've got all these systems. We get them from disgruntled groomers that we're told is the same as TheraClean. So that's why we tell people, if you want to, call it a TheraClean bath instead of just a microbubble bath, or call it a TheraClean microbubble bath. We had a lovely woman out of Missouri who was using a system out of Singapore, and she used our YouTube videos and saying she had TheraClean. And this was like 2014 or 15, and I'd never really experienced this. And it was quite interesting because I got right on YouTube and their legal team, and you can go right on, and they took it down instantly.
Oh, YouTube does not play. They will.
I didn't know that. I was just like, I'm gonna have to jump to. Is this even worth it? And I was
they
just
will
like,
take
these guys
it.
are fooling around.
YouTube will. Oh, wait, we're putting this on YouTube. What all do I want to say or not say? We care for our YouTube masters very much. No, they will shoot first and ask questions later.
Yeah. Well, you can
in
tell
terms of taking it down. Yeah.
Whose videos were they? And obviously it was ours. It had the copyright symbol, and our symbol was like watermarked down in this corner, where's my camera? Down here. And it's, it didn't take long, but we had a nice conversation. She said, I always wanted your system, but I couldn't afford it. And I was like, I understand. But we'll be here, when you can. And that's something that, a lot of everybody just sees our price, and I understand it. And a lot of people go, why is your system so expensive? And it's like, well, it is expensive. We don't deny that. And the reason is we put so much money into R&D and L&D, whatever you want to call it, learning and development, or research and development. It's made over here on this side of the planet with quality parts. We haven't had to make a warranty claim in 10.5 years. And it's UL safety certified, and now it's FDA registered. If people understood what that costs us every year, so that we know you plug it into your mobile van, you plug it in your shop, it's not going to start a fire, and it's safe to use. That's where we get really scared, is that forget the whole microbubble thing. They're going to bring something in like up here, Mary. I don't know if it's the same in Washington State. A lot of different counties here, if they catch you using something that isn't supposed to be here, getting microbubble results is the least of your problems. They don't screw around in a place called New Westminster over here. They'll come into your shop and just go, where'd you get that? And let's see where you got it and all that. And then they'll find the living hell out of you.
Well, in Washington, it's L&I. And depending on the county, okay?
Yeah.
Some counties are really militant, okay, about what the rules and the regulations are and what it is that they expect or they don't expect. And other counties are like,
Yeah.
hey, whatever you want to do is fine by us.
One of those. Yeah, like we had a client in Pennsylvania who will name nameless, and she's outstanding. So she just got her system, and she was disinfecting it, and the phone rang, and it was a mother. So she calls me up out of nowhere, and the waterworks were going, and I'm like, what has happened? So I think she had her system like maybe a month or two, and she goes, my system's broken, and please don't kill me, Kyle. Don't be mad at me. I'm just like, what's happening? Anyway, so she was disinfecting it. The phone rang. She forgot about it and left to go help her mother. Left it on for 8 hours. And it did exactly what it was supposed to do. Didn't catch on fire. The cabinet was hot. It burnt the seal. So it was metal rubbing on metal. But got it back. Motor was fine. Everything was fine. Put a new seal in like it never happened. And I was just like, unannounced to her, I was just like, cool. It passed the test. Even though we have to go through such drastic testing in North Carolina, where we send them 3 or 4 systems and they beat the living hell out of them, literally light them on fire. But hearing that story, I was just like, oh dear God, please tell me everything's okay. And she goes, no, everything's fine. I think I've broken my system. I'm just like, oh, we'll get that handled. Don't worry about it.
All right. So that actually leads me to the hard-hitting questions that I warned you were coming. But first, commercial break.
I love the commercials.
I love being a house call groomer, but I hate doing laundry or worrying about asking my clients for fresh towels. Raypet has solved those problems for me with the Wet Pet disposable towel. Taking up much less space than traditional cotton towels and easy to wring out and reuse, these super soft, comfy, absorbent towels eliminate any cross-contamination concerns between pets. And now their new smaller washcloth size can even help those sensitive eye areas. Great for cleaning out wrinkles gently and thoroughly. Need to keep water bowls for your clients on hand that are easy to disinfect, but hate all the room traditional clanky metal bowls take up? Or just have a very active pet? Their collapsible silicone bowl comes with an aluminum D-ring hook that can be attached to your pet's leash or anywhere else in your van for easy storage. You can get one by itself or in their handy travel kit, along with a set of 3 tick removers and 1 small wet pet towel. So stop by their website to check it out, raypet.net, and tell them the Traveling Groomers sent you.
And Kyle, I was totally about to tell you, oh, I can edit it out. And then I realized
Sorry.
not the video. So.
Oh, okay. I was like, when you play the ad, and I was just like, can we talk? Or are we just shooting the air? Or are we? It was like, nope. We're on. We're on. I'm like,
We'll make for a fun video.
Yeah, it would. And as, by the way, thank you for all to all our listeners and watchers who put up with me basically eating dinner during this episode. Kyle, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
It was a day.
Yeah,
it was a fun day. But I made it, and the one thing, Mary and I are kind of like opposites in a lot of ways, and we bicker like siblings, but both of us you would not like when we're hangry.
Oh, I
Oh,
mean, I'm not the most pleasant when I'm hangry, and my wife is. It's Darth Vader time, and it's funny. Everybody laughs that knows me. When so her ringtone in my phone is the Imperial March.
yeah.
I was standing in line at the bank one time, and I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot that my phone was on ringer, and I usually just turn it off when I'm inside a business, right? Especially the bank. So I'm waiting in line, and all of a sudden, bum, 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 bum. I'm like, oh, turn it off.
Great.
And there's a gentleman behind me, and I'm just kind of like, because it was loud, and I was just like, sorry about that. And he just goes, Star Wars, love it. And I go, oh, it's my wife's tone. He goes, I am so using that.
Back when you used to like be able to like just buy ringtones for like $1 or $2, right?
Yeah.
My husband put on my phone for his ringtone was hurry up, pick up the phone, the asshole is calling.
No.
Oh, yes.
And you didn't know that?
No, I did not.
Oh,
know.
no.
Oh. And you're at a client's house because it's always in front of a client.
I'm is in Joann's buying fabric for bandanas.
Oh, dear.
And he's sitting in the parking lot waiting for me. And he waits till like I have all the bolts.
So he not.
Yes. And so I pick up the phone and I'm like, you're an asshole. You know that, right?
That is sensational. I love it. Wait till you get in the store, give it a few Mississippis, boom. And it's just like, oh my God. And then you probably don't even know it's your phone ringing. It's like, that's my phone. Oh, that's good. I'm going to do that.
That's great. That's great. You know, sadly, not that I didn't respect your husband, but my respect for Ernesto just skyrocketed right there. I was like, oh, you go, brother. Okay. Hard questions. Now that I am fed and whiskeyed. So you mentioned disinfecting, and especially since we're talking about skin conditions, and clearly this is some type of recirculating system.
Mhm.
So all that skin and stuff is going through the system. How do you recommend cleaning it between dogs? What do you put through it? How do you catch that? Because I'm sure a lot of it's getting sucked up in.
See, that's what it's funny where we're going to be 11 years old. We're 350 or so strong now. And we've never had a reverse reaction, and it's a recirculating bath. Now, when we get into burn hospitals and things like that, it cannot be recirculating. We've been told that with massive red flares coming at us. So, and it'll be saline water and things like that.
Right.
The intake is down at the bottom of the bath, if you will. Okay. Everything that is pulled out of the skin, whether it be bacteria, yeast, any infection, all of that stuff, you'll actually see it floating on top of the water, nowhere near where the intake is. So even the skunk oil, a lot of people have never seen it in action, and it seems too good to be true. You're spraying the skunk spray right back into the dog's face. It actually isn't. It's hard to imagine it, because I asked the same thing to the Japanese when I was over in Japan in 2012, going, well, wait a minute. Why am I just putting the dirty water right back onto the dog? And it's not. The intake is always pulling from the original bath water itself, and all the debris. If you go on YouTube, type in TheraClean Microbubbles. That's our YouTube page, and you'll see however many videos, because our clients put up videos. You'll see the debris floating on top of the water. Now, what we like to tell our clients is everybody's got a cell phone. If my 80-year-old parents have a cell phone, everybody has a cell phone. So everybody's got a camera, and take pictures of all that debris that's floating on top of the water after the bath is done. The microbubbles are gone. You can see through the bottom, and explain to the pet parent that that is what was in your dog's skin, not on it. It was in it, because nothing was there before the bath, and all of a sudden you've got this foam layer floating on top. And sometimes you'll see these black specks with the dogs that have like the atopic dermatitis and pyodermas, the like Wheaton's. If you go on our website under results, there's a dog named Breezy, where Wheaton Terriers are supposed to be white. This dog is black. There isn't even any hair, actually. But it's a client of ours, another one in Pennsylvania, that it's, he now gets groomed because there's too much hair. But you'll see all that black skin floating on top of the water. It will never get down to the intake, is basically what I'm saying.
Okay. Yes, more or less. So for the people who go, okay, but one or two molecules will, maybe.
And the amount of microbubbles will always outnumber the amount of bacteria that's in there, because there's billions of these little microbubbles. Now, remember how small they are, and they want to go after that positively charged material. And just like skunks, I know I keep going back to them, it's organic. It's made by the skunk, so it's positively charged. And you get it in the eyes, up in the nose, in the mouth. It'll go get it and pull it all out, and it leaves it floating on top of the water. I wonder if I have.
Now, how much? Well, if I wouldn't bother pulling up a video, because half the people listen as opposed to watching the YouTube, so then they wouldn't really benefit from that. But so do you still recommend, just because the dog is still in the water?
Yeah.
And the water is going through, what is your disinfection protocol? Like, what do you recommend? How do you
so
get on
we
the
have
inside
this
of that?
disinfectant that was we were told invented by 3 veterinarians out of Kentucky. And it doesn't take much, because the system isn't that big.
Right.
It's just a capful or 2, and all 3 lines, the intake and the 2 outtakes, go into a bucket. And as soon as you turn it on, it foams up because that disinfectant, and it goes through the entire system. It goes through the pump, it goes through the tank, it goes through all the hose lines, it goes through all the tubing. Anywhere there's water, it goes through it. And it's about a 3 to 4 minute process. And you see it all spitting it all out. And then the most important part is just rinsing that disinfectant out so that the next dog doesn't get the disinfectant
on it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Have you ever spoken, and this is just off the top of my head because I know it's a disinfectant I use between dogs and my bathing beauty, like a Chlorohex solution. Have you ever spoken with the vets about using that in between? Because since that's something that is used and put on pets, if any gets on it, it's not, if any gets on them, it's not like a big deal.
Right. It's called BioSentry 904. We get it from a company called Neogen. And they actually, when COVID was rampant over here, they actually got a COVID claim. So we told our clients, so, they gave it to us and we gave it to, so we have a private Facebook group for our clients where they can, work as a community. Anybody see a dog like this? How many baths did you do? All this kind of stuff. So we put it on there. Hey guys, start wiping down the entire shop or van with this stuff, because I can't remember the exact claim, but it wasn't for the COVID that we know, but there was a COVID SARS virus claim if it was on the table or something like that. That's what we've been using for, oh geez, 7 or 8 years now.
Okay. So you recommend at the end, using that at the end of every day, every shift, okay.
Yeah, especially dogs that have skin problems. We've noticed if the dogs come in from the same household, you're fine. But if you've got a dog with like demodectic mange and the next one on the schedule is just a regular TheraClean bath because John wants his dog, a regular clean. Like I have an 8-month-old boxer, and we used to have my wife and I are prone to the boxers. Idiot. But our old dog, so he lived to be 10 and he never had a skin issue. But it doesn't mean I don't give him a TheraClean bath at least once every 6 to 8 weeks, because I want to have peace of mind if the pen is the entire follicle, that everything is clean. There's no mites or bacteria growing in here, because we can't see that far, obviously, and he's not going to tell me. So that's the importance of TheraClean, is just as much in the prevention of skin problems as it is constantly battling them. So if you've got a dog with demodectic mange on the schedule and the next one is just a regular maintenance TheraClean bath that they want with their groom, disinfect the system, obviously. But again, we've never had anybody go the other way. Now, it's funny that you mentioned that. One of the protocols that we have to do to get our human FDA, we have to prove disinfection and then we have to prove cleaning. And they're two very different.
They're two different things. Yeah.
I didn't know that. And the price tag on each one, ladies.
Oh.
Yeah. I won't say the number, but there's a lot of zeros on it. So in what month are we in? March? Should be in around May or June. We have to send 10 systems, 5 for disinfecting and 5 for cleaning. And what they're going to do, we've been told, is they're going to take our current manual for animals and just follow the manual and put all the bacteria they can inside throughout the system, obviously with swabs and stuff.
Yeah.
See if it's good enough for human stuff.
Okay.
And if not, then we have to change some protocols for human. I mean, the only thing that we've been told with FDA that has us getting this far is that we haven't had any reverse reactions in the animal world, which is nice. Let me find some wood.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, that's good. I am waiting with bated breath to see the results of that, because that's fascinating to me. Yeah. Especially, I think we all learned a little bit about the difference between cleaning and disinfecting with COVID.
I didn't know. And I was just like, okay, interesting. And I'm like you, I like learning things. So it's we are, very humbled at this price tag. But can't wait to hear the results.
I think the best way I try to think of cleaning versus disinfecting is you can let your dog lick your plate clean. And it looks clean. It looks like it's ready to go right back in the cabinet.
But put it under a microscope.
But is it not? It is not disinfected.
It's swarming with bacteria.
It's not. It's,
Yeah, no, that's a good way. I like that.
There you
That's
go.
good.
All right, so let's take another commercial break because we're now a little behind because we got chatty but fascinating stuff, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
And speaking of continuing education, because we either were or will be, join the Andis World-Class Education Team each month for live interactive virtual classes. You'll learn new and trending styles, as well as tips and tricks from some of the best groomers in the industry. Whether you're looking for basic skills, trending styles, advanced techniques, or even just ways to spark your creativity, the new Andis Grooming Education site is your source for finding what you need to create your way for success. Try new techniques, learn from the pros, and grow your confidence today at andis.com/groomer education. Traveling Groomer Podcast listeners, hey, that's you, can get 25% off your first course today with the code VEGROOMING at checkout on andis.com/groomer education.
You missed the picture, Chris.
I saw. Okay,
This is a groomer's daughter-in-law that has psoriasis. And you can imagine, as a woman, she doesn't like to wear shorts or a skirt or anything. And that was about 10 baths.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, before we do the last commercial, which is my commercial, correct?
Yeah.
Want to instead talk about this.
Okay. So instead of hitting the button, I'll go, Mary, talk. But
there's a button?
I have buttons on my soundboard. It's fantastic.
There's a soundboard?
There's a soundboard. I feel like a mad scientist genius when I just go, boop, 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 boop.
This is great.
We are professionals.
Yeah, so we've come a long way from recording on the computer audio and the computer camera, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, which is what I'm on.
It's fine.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm the new guy.
But Mary, did you have questions? And did I ask all the questions I thought said I was going to ask?
Yes, I was curious about how do you clean the machine and what exactly it is. Because I've seen you at trade shows, and I'm sure as soon as you said $8,000, I'm like, oh gee, thanks. I'm gonna continue walking.
Yeah.
That's something that we had one groomer that came by, and I can't remember what show it was or what year it was. She goes, this is when we were $9,000. She goes, $9,000. I didn't pay $9,000 for my car. And I get it, the sticker shock. And I said, can I ask you how much money your car made you? And she goes, what? And I go, how much money did your car make you just last year? And she goes, well, my car doesn't make me any money. And I go, but that's what this does. If we have financing and things like that. We get that we're an investment, and we recently sold one at Groom Expo West, which was our last show. And it was a groomer that came along and said, I recognized her face. I couldn't remember her name. And she goes, okay, that's it. I'm getting it. And I'm like, sounds like you've been here before. And she just goes, yeah, I've ignored you guys for 5 years. And I've done the math. And if I had got it 5 years ago, I'd be at least 50,000 in profit by now. And I couldn't get past the price tag. And I'm like, now you're thinking.
Then see, I might have had an answer for you about the car because I'm a house call groomer.
Oh, so well, there you go.
My car makes me all my money.
Yeah, and you build that into the price of the groom.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, that's where Jeff and I talk about, we hear from clients. So the real work for TheraClean is after we make the sale. Like we do mandatory Zoom calls with you and your staff. We're not asking, because you're representing that logo just as much as you're representing yourself. So we want you to make money, but get the results that we advertise and do well. So we get everybody, it's usually a team of, if it's not a one person show, they get the pizza out and they get the wine, and it's after hours, and we have some fun. We're like this, and we go over everything. But the amount of work that we put into each and every client after they get the system, you got a dog that, we had a dog out of New Jersey. Sorry, it's right on the border of Philadelphia and New Jersey, and it was in a pit bull fighting ring in this police thing. Anyways, these assholes poured acid down her back, trying to get her to turn angry and fight. And the dog never ever. You can find her on our website. Her name is Boo. And anyways, they got the dog and got it up to one of our clients and cleaned everything out and regrew. The wound healed perfectly. You can't even tell because the hair's back.
Wow.
And all, and in a forever home, and it's a good ending. But
Was that in the Camden area?
oh, I don't remember. It's
Okay.
a place called Floss Grooming was the one that took them in and did the bass. She's in Stratford, New Jersey.
Okay.
So, but it was in Philadelphia where the police thing, dog fighting ring was. So those kind of things is like, okay, I got this dog. Well, all right. How many baths do I do? When do I do the baths? The frequency? How
Right.
long are the baths? Do I use medicated shampoo if the veterinarian wants to get involved? Do I do it before? Do I do it after? What do I tell the pet parent? You got to go home and find out what's causing the dog skin problem and stuff. All of that. How do I talk to pet parents? What's the marketing? We provide 150 before and after case pics for you to help you get started, videos to play in the shop, or if you have a website or social media. All of that comes with the system. And Jeff's, he's going to shoot me. 53. I just turned 50. We're going back to the old school days when people picked up the telephone.
Yeah.
And so, because you need us, you and your team are going to have questions. I don't care if it's the new person at the shop or it's the 20-year veteran. You have to know these things in order to get results with TheraClean. And it's, again, just a small reason of why we're a big ticket item.
And for your everyday bath, would you even put shampoo in that? Would you run shampoo through the microbubble system? Would you shampoo before, after, like?
Yeah, the answer is no. But some groomers have never seen it, and they come by and they put their hands in the microbubbles at the trade shows, and they go, "I never have to buy shampoo again." And it's like, no. Who said that?
Yeah.
Shampoos and products still serve their place, but even though we've always called it, I want to give my dog a bath. So I go to you, Mary, and I want to give my dog a bath. Or I go to you, Chris, and I want to give my dog a bath. Opposite ends of the continent. It consists of the same thing every time. You put them in a tub, take a shower apparatus, get them wet, take some sort of a product, whatever it is, and start scrubbing away. And that friction is breaking up the oils, dirt, and debris on the hair and the coat and the top of the skin, right? So then you take the same shower press, rinse him off, maybe a leave-in conditioner, dry him. He's done. He looks good. He smells good. Here's my money. I'm happy. We've always called it a bath, but isn't that just a shower? No different how we wash our hair?
Mm-hmm.
A TheraClean bath, everybody's taking a bath. You're in the bubbles. And technically, I don't even have to touch that dog. So when we get into burn patients, I don't even have to touch them. The bubbles are doing everything. And if I want, I'm just painting the dog in microbubbles. I can lift up the gums, get in the mouth, the eyes, the ears. The bubbles are doing all the work. So shampoo, the bubbles really yes, they will clean the coat, but they really want to go inside the skin. They just go for it like a magnet. So shampoos serve their place, keep using them. And this, if it's a medicated shampoo, this will help facilitate other therapy protocols to become more effective. So we've written out protocols with, actually, getting back to our original question, making it up as we went along, of our vet on staff, Dr. Zeroni, and about the first 100 groomers on what we were seeing on all the protocols on when to do the baths, how long are the baths, when to introduce shampoos, when not to, all of that kind of stuff. And they're now built into what we call the TheraClean Army. We were going to call it the TheraClean family, but we called it Army because we knew we were going to basically go to war on a technology that nobody's seen before. And we were going to have to, knock some doors down.
So it's never going to replace, it's going to be an addition to, but it's never going to replace my beloved bathing beauty.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. If you put a dollop of shampoo into the TheraClean bath, it will suds up and foam up and, look like that. And then the microbubbles, yes, they'll still be produced, but they're kind of not useless.
They're fighting they're fighting each other.
Right.
They're fighting each other. So I would probably want to do a bath with the bathing beauty, and that would have the water and the suds creating the friction, getting the dog clean, and then do the TheraClean bath,
and then
because
do the skin with the TheraClean. Like if we tell people you get a farm dog, a golden retriever, and it's all muddy. Well, there's your shampoo. Don't get that mud inside your system. Bathe the dog, clean him, and then go to, like, when you start regrowing hair and helping a dog go from 10 milligrams of Apoquel down to either off it completely or 0.1. No pet parent wants to go back to those bad days. They usually beat the staff to it, but they go, I want a TheraClean bath every time I come in for my groom. And that's a package price. Dogs without skin problems. And Linda loves the blueberry scented shampoo you've always used. She's been a regular forever, but always you get her to try TheraClean just to see what comes out of the follicles. And so it's like, oh, this is quite interesting. But she loves blueberry, the way Fido smells with the blueberry scented shampoo. That dog's going to smell like blueberries for a long time because the follicle is so much cleaner. I can't explain it until you come to the trade show booth and put your hands in the bubbles. Like, if you've seen it, obviously you guys have seen it. We only put one hand in the bubbles, and there's a reason for that. So you can compare it to the other hand.
You mean like that? Oh, you're mean. You're like those makeup people. Have you seen this where they go, oh, we have this cream for your eye, and they'll put on one eye.
I know.
And
it looks amazing.
And then you're like,
just like, well, what
yeah,
about
yeah.
It's like, oh, it's $400 for this little tube, and
that's when I go, I will walk around lopsided. No. No.
True story. This is not an embellishment. Groom Expo, Hershey, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Woman comes along. She's got her whole staff. There's got to be 7 of them. Everybody's in the fish tank with their one hand. The owner had just got back from a Caribbean cruise. Okay. Had a lovely tan. Very nice.
Oh, no.
Comes out, dries off. Everybody's doing this. Oh my God, it feels like, it's, I feel like I'm 10. Takes a couple laps around the show. Don't hear from her again. So later that day, it's approaching around 5:00. She comes back and she's upset.
She mad.
Upset, like mushroom cloud. One pretty much dark hand and one, like me, English and Irish, I don't tan very well, white hand. And she goes, what the hell? And I'm like, was it a spray tan? She goes, no, I was just on a cruise. And now I have to do the other hand. And we're emptying the tank. Like, it's whatever it was, 5:15.
Yeah.
Like, the security's like, get out, get out, get out. And I'm like,
no, she's like, put the water back in the tank.
Yeah. She goes, I go,
will
are
stand
you here tomorrow? She goes, I will be wearing gloves tonight, but at 9:02, I will be here for this hand. Comes in, matches the other hand. It was funny for us, but she had a good laugh. She bought a system.
Because tanning is just skin damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Mary,
Yes.
we are a little over on time.
Yeah.
So
I'll get my little boy anyways.
Tell us about this emergency disaster planning thing you held up.
Okay, so this is Karina's fault, by the way, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Because Karina calls me up one day and she says, hey, can you put together an emergency disaster plan for my business? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And then I never hear from her again. All right.
Wasn't that the same on getting Chris into the podcast? Here, do this checklist. I'll see you later.
All right. So I'm thinking, all right. So I put together this manual and I pull in Kate Klassen and we fine tune it. And we have created an emergency and disaster plan template that you can put your own information in.
Nice.
Look at this. It's
Ooh.
like 60 odd pages in here.
Who wrote all that? You?
Me and Kate Klassen.
How long did that take?
Couple months.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I like it.
So basically, you can sell a product and create homework for people all at the same time and just giggle madly all the way to the bank.
Oh, yeah. This is
Superpower.
Here.
Superpower.
You have to fill this out.
Yeah, have this on my desk by Monday.
All right. So I'm going to be selling the manuals. I have a booth at Tacoma.
Brilliant.
So I will have some there. Anything I have left over from this order, I will bring to Rocky Mountain. And Kate and I will be offering programs to help you walk through filling this out.
And what else will you have at your booth at Tacoma, Mary?
Oh, yes. Okay. And I can't even show a copy of it because I sold all of them I had. Okay.
Oh,
I wrote a book, A Spirited Life, The Life and Times of Spirit Oquendo.
nice.
It
Congrats.
is available on Amazon. And no, my order's not here. No, so I did order another 30 books, which is not here yet, which I will also bring to Tacoma.
Only 30, Mary. That is small thinking.
You sold the first copy, the prototype?
I sold all of them. I ordered 10 books. and
Very
they-
nice.
They went out. So I had to order some more.
You have to have your own. There'll be an autograph session between 9 and 12.
Yeah.
And Mary will be in
Yes.
her trailer at 12:07. Please do not disturb her. She will come back for another autograph session at 4:00.
I was going to have my first book signing at my local bookstore here in Squim. Yeah, very excited
That's
about
freaking awesome.
it, you know. And I'll have them also at the Rocky Mountain Show. So I guess my last question for you is that what trade shows will you be for the upcoming year?
Me?
That's you.
Oh, sorry.
And this is going to air like right before Intergroom. This will
Okay,
air
we're
the
gonna be
Wednesday
at
before.
Intergroom. Yeah, we're at Intergroom next, and then we're at the Pet Boarding and Daycare West show in Las Vegas. We've never been to that one, but we decided to give a boarding show a go. And then we will be at Super Zoo in August, then Groom Expo Hershey in September, then Fun in the Sun in October in Orlando, and then the Pet Pro Classic in Fort Worth, Texas in November.
Okay.
And that's
Excellent.
our calendar year.
You will see me at most of those except the boarding show.
Nice.
I don't know
Fine.
yet about Orlando.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
But actually speaking at Super Zoo and not going to be there with Evolution Cheers, which means I have a shot in hell of walking the trade show.
Wow. I got lost one year.
and actually, you know,
No.
saying hi to you there and stuff and
Please come by.
being able to get all of the fun samples. Guys, Super Zoo is still the place to get free things.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
Usually like stress toys that I have elsewhere.
Especially that last day of the show at Super Zoo, I find
That one.
where the vendors are like, I don't want to pack any of this up. So what do you want to pay? And I just
Don't start, Mary. Don't start.
Oh no.
What?
Don't tell this story again. I'll tell you later.
Okay. So
No.
gonna tell the
Our
story.
listeners have heard this. We're
But he hasn't.
15 minutes over. He hasn't.
Yeah.
He can hear it after.
Tell me later.
Anyway.
The daycare is closing in 20 minutes. It's just
Okay.
over, but I gotta
Yes.
go get him.
Ha! Saved by the bell and our
Oh, I'm
chatter
intrigued though.
earlier.
I have yet
Yeah.
to hear this, so I'll hear the story eventually.
I'll be at Super Zoo.
Okay, done. Story time.
Okay. So, before you have to run off to the daycare, is there anything else you wanted to share besides give it a try, find you at a trade show, and watch the YouTube videos.
Yeah. If you can get past the price tag and understand it's investment, we have financing. We finance our own clients through TheraClean. We also have partnered with a company called Stern Banks. If you want to finance through them, it's built. The average client of TheraClean is doing anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a month in TheraClean baths.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. How much do you recommend they charge for a therapy bath?
Everybody is different, no matter where. We've got a vet in the UK, a groomer in Norway, the one coming up in New Zealand, 3 down in Ecuador, obviously Canada, US. I say the same thing to, we say the same thing to everybody. You know your clients, your area, your demographic much better than we do. However, in our opinion, a TheraClean bath should be at least an extra $25 on top of whatever you're charging for a bath today. And usually it's small, medium, large, right?
Right.
So, but you have to price it so that the system does not sit there and collect dust and everybody just hears, oh, that's too expensive, I don't want that. But also at the same time, you have a technology that can clean to a level a regular bath can't. That's the Cliff Notes version on selling it. Bath, scrub, TheraClean bath. You walk into the shop and it's like, and I'm making this up. A regular bath is $50, and it says here a TheraClean Microbubble bath is $75. What is that? What is the difference? And that's how you say, this is tiny little bubbles that can get into the skin, and this is your regular traditional bath with shampoos and stuff, and you can combine them if you want, and that's a package price. Like we have a client in Beverly Hills, Vanderpump Dogs. I don't know if anybody watches Vanderpump Rules or Real Housewives. They got a system many, many moons ago, and don't quote me on this. I want to say the bath is like 70, $80. And that's there where apparently money grows on trees. So a rural client in farmland, Pennsylvania can't charge that, or the system will just sit there. And she charges around $35, and she's doing about 12 a week. Whatever you do for your business, because you know your clientele.
Okay.
But everybody's different. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. And I just did some basic math, and even at $20 per, if you sell 5 a week, the system is paid for in 2 years.
Yeah. And if you can't pay for this system, especially with skin problems, and again, we walk you through how many baths to do and when to do them. This is not a one bath and done. And we're changing everything on ear infections as well. And getting that stigma is like, my veterinarian said, don't get water in the ear. Go to our YouTube page, go on the ear infections episode, and you're going to see results in one bath. But what we like to say is, hey, everybody's got an infection before, and you go to the doctor and the doctor says, okay, here's your antibiotics, and I want you to take 1 pill a day for 10 days. And it's like, okay, doctor, no problem. And it's day 4 and I feel amazing. My lung infection's gone. I'm asthmatic. My lung infection's gone. Do I stop taking the pills? Some people do.
So, a lot of people do.
You finish the cycle. And it's the same with TheraClean baths, where the protocols are written for your hotspots, mange, atopic dermatitis, folliculitis, pyodermis, blah, 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 blah. And you just do them all. And that's the hardest part, is getting the pet parent to commit and be on board. And those that do, and once you get your dog a full-on new life, that's again where they go, okay, I want this every time I come in for my groom, and I want the blueberry scented shampoo, and I want the TheraClean bath, and I want the regular cut, and I want the whole thing. And how much is that? That's $180. Great. I'll see you every 6 weeks. And if you can do 5 clients like that, you should be able to pay the system off in a year, Chris. But everybody's different. Like we have clients that grandfathered in now. All new clients require TheraClean with their groom. That's a little aggressive, but again, we're not here to tell somebody how to run their business. We're here to help you with the system and how to make money off it. You do you. But yeah,
I'm just going to piggyback on that real quick. I was a mobile groomer, and we like to say we're the prima donnas of the grooming world. You do what I tell you to do, and that's the end of that discussion.
I like that.
So anyway,
I don't find anything wrong with that. I mean, some of our clients, it's like, well, you're the one who went to school for and the training. So tell the pet parent, hey, this is what we're doing. And this is not a discussion. And I'm not even talking about TheraClean. Just, stop doing this with your dog, and your dog's always coming in mad and you have to brush your dog and all this kind of stuff. And, we fired a client once because they thought they knew everything about Microbubble and they didn't want to listen to us and they didn't want to do the Zoom call and all that stuff. And I got the system back. Because again, you're representing TheraClean, and then they got a competing Microbubble system from somewhere, let's just say, and it broke down, and they called us. And anyways, they were still using TheraClean as their advertising, and politely we had said, "Can you please stop that?" And they agreed. It was a mutual divorce, but it was just like, listen, there's Microbubble baths, and then there's TheraClean Microbubble baths. And we're not being mean to somebody. It was just like, listen, we know what we're doing, and you bought the best system out there, in our opinion. And this, come help us help you. What's the Jerry Maguire movie? Help me help you, or something like that. Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it is Jerry.
What's the Jerry Maguire?
You said movie? Jerry Maguire, and my brain translated it to Tom Cruise, and I was trying to think of the movie. Yeah.
That's a wrap. That's it.
All right. And yeah, on that note, Mary, unless you really have other questions, I think our brains have officially shut down at this juncture. Carl, thank you so much for coming and chatting with us. I look forward to seeing you at the trade shows.
Yes. Stop by the booth.
Will do.
I'm good to see you, Chris, in New Jersey.
Yes.
Okay. Come by the booth. There may or may not be a Crown Royal peach there. What?
Ooh.
Mary, lovely
Crown
to meet
Royale,
you.
Any girly flavor will do. All right, guys.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
You too. Safe
Bye-bye.
travels. Bye.
Well, that was fun. But now it's time to head home. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. And see you next week, guys. Safe travels.